Football is back.
Let's go, baby!
On July 26th and 27th, teams across the league take the field for Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV.
Let's do this for the fans!
With 2 full days of practices, player interviews, and behind-the-scenes access, it's a can't-miss NFL reunion. Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV, July 26th and 27th. Go to NFL.com/BackTogetherWeekend for more information.
I'm Christiana Manpour, and I've been on the front lines and interviewing world leaders for more than 30 years.
And I'm Jamie Rubin, a former advisor to both Presidents Clinton and Biden.
We were married for 20 years.
And divorced for 7.
Now we've joined forces on The X-Files to make sense of how we ended up with no world order. Listen to Christiana Manpour Presents The X-Files on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. Let's get it going. We have a very important Uber story to tell you about. Next segment, we're going to need the expertise of one Stefan Cabeza, who's going to help us navigate and maneuver through this Uber controversy.
Okay.
And it has to do with the ladies. We'll tell you about that. And if you didn't know, California is the home of America's most popular sports teams. Bar none. California, home of the most popular sports teams, in spite of the Clippers. In spite of. Sorry, Michael Crozier. And have you ever been to the Sears Burbank? The Sears right over there in the town center? It's closing once again. It's an institution, but it is closing. We'll tell you why and some of the reasons and situations swirling about that. And the biggest trial yet confirms the 4-day work week makes employees happier. Did we need to have a study to confirm that? You ever see the movie There's Something About Mary? And there's this part in there about 7-minute abs or 8-minute abs. And they say, well, what happens when someone comes along and they do 7-minute abs? Well, come on now. If we know that we're happy with a 4-day work week, what about a 3-day work week? Ooh, how about this? Wait. Hear me out. A 2-day work week. We can work 2 days and sojourn for the weekend for 5 days. But then if someone comes along with the 1-day work week or the fully remote work week, I don't know. But I'm getting excited. I'm getting ready to go back to the movies. I'm going to see Fantastic Four, First Steps. I'm going to do it on Friday. Tawala and Mark, they invited me to go to the movies with them Thursday night at 1 a.m. I respectfully declined. I said, no freaking way. Hell's no. Will I ever be doing that again? Just so you can mock me for falling asleep?
Well, now we're going to mock you for not going.
The whole point is, why would I subject myself to the ridicule of falling asleep in the movie when I told you that I don't like seeing movies which start after midnight?
I don't see why you're being so precious. You subject yourself to ridicule every single weeknight. What's the difference?
I really think it's a cop-out.
Yeah.
I really don't know if I appreciate you. I can't stay up late, as if you can't go on and just sleep in. You said you were going to go and catch an afternoon show.
That's right.
That Friday. Just sleep in then.
No. Sleeping in doesn't mean that I'll be able to enjoy the movie as it happens. Yes, I will be able to sleep in after the movie, but I will be unable to stay up through the movie.
No, you'll be fine. We'll get a drink right before the movie.
That should help.
Yeah, I'll make sure you're awake. I'll be in the ribs.
Look, you take a nice little nap, even though, and he's loath to admit it, even though he has taken a nice nap while we have seen midnight movies before. So I will give you that.
So why am I going to subject myself to that?
Your snoring doesn't bother me that much anymore in a movie.
I wish I could. I can't say that on the air. I need you and my wife to get together and talk about that.
You don't want that.
But I'm not going to the movies anymore. And I did the math with you. off air, and I'm going to do the math with you on air. The movie's supposed to start when? Thursday night / Friday morning.
12:30.
12:30. That's the stated time. That's the listed time. And we know that we have all these new commercials, which are going to be added to the pre-show because it's AMC.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that we have Nicole Kidman. We know we have the M&Ms. That's
it. We have the guy and the girl dancing and driving the cars and doing all that.
That's at least a half an hour.
It is.
The AMC theaters to laugh, to cry, to care.
By the time we get to this point, I'm already snoring.
That. All of us. That indescribable feeling.
Audiences love this ad.
When the lights begin.
I mean, I don't, but they do.
That's fine, but that's a good still half hour of non-movie before we get to the movie. So the movie's not going to start with a 12:30 listed start time until 1 a.m. I don't stay up that late for anything.
No. But Mo, you're missing a humongous news tidbit connected to the reasons why you should go and see this. Well, this may not sell you, actually, when I think about it. But it has been revealed that the brand new trailer for the
Don't say Avatar.
Avatar with the fire people, fire and rain.
Yeah.
First comes fire, then goes, it's going to be playing exclusively in theaters. It's not going to be available anywhere online.
You know that I can find that thing online by the time it comes out.
No, but they're making sure it's exclusive. AMC is doing everything they can, and they're partnering with Disney and Fox and whoever else to make sure that you can only see it in theaters.
Why would I go to a movie at 12:30 / 1 a.m.
Yes.
that I can barely stay awake for, just so I can see Nicole Kidman, who I don't want to see, and Avatar trailer that I don't want to see for a movie I'm not going to see? What's in it for me?
You'll be with your friends.
Friend. I would be with Twala. That's friend. That's one. That's singular. Who else?
There's no need for that.
Who else? Who else is going? That's my friend.
Wow.
Oh man.
That's just payback.
Payback for what?
Subject yourself to ridicule every single weeknight.
Oh, yes, that.
How quickly we forget, sir.
We, the royal we.
Yes. Royal we.
Well, you're going to be missing out on some fun, and we'll text you from the movie.
That's okay. My phone will be off. I keep trying to tell people my phone.
Yeah.
I have a do not disturb. It's on lock after a certain point.
Can we get past that, Tuala?
Nah, not really.
Damn it.
If I'm not up, my phone is not on, with the exception of my wife and my mother and my sister. That's it. Not even KFI. They'll get a.
Okay.
That's it.
That's true. You're not getting through because he even said his sons don't even have.
They do not.
Access to it.
They do not. They better call their mama.
Yeah.
Because I'm not picking up the phone.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to think. I will treat you to a delicious tube steak.
Okay.
I'm going to politely decline.
A hot dog.
I'm going to politely decline because I don't think you understand what you're saying right now.
No. It's filling.
Mark, are you ready for the news?
Delicious.
Because I'm getting ready to eject from the segment.
I'm ready for us all to take a trip to HR.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on social media.
I'm Christiana Manpour, and I've been on the front lines and interviewing world leaders for more than 30 years.
And I'm Jamie Rubin, a former advisor to both Presidents Clinton and Biden.
We were married for 20 years.
And divorced for 7.
Now we've joined forces on the X-Files to make sense of how we ended up with no world order. Listen to Christiana Manpour Presents The X-Files on the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Media.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. We're live on YouTube. Join the Momigos in the Motown chat. And I'm responding to all of your comments there. If you have something to say, you want to talk about the show, or, ask about why I don't want to see movies at 1 a.m. and drive home at 3 a.m. because Tuala Sharp and Mark Runner are ganging up on me.
Let them have it.
And are just determined to have me out there way past my bedtime to see a movie that I won't remember because I'll fall asleep.
You don't seem very grateful.
I want to tell you a story off air about someone who said that to me sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not going to like the end of that
Is
story.
it going to be like last night's story?
Tuwala, yes. Tuwala, tell him, because Tuwala knows the story because he was there for the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. There's oof.
Are you bringing some baggage into this Fantastic Four situation?
No, you just did.
Okay.
Yeah, you brought the baggage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You brought the
You
baggage.
don't even know. We'll tell you, though.
I had no idea.
You stepped in it again.
A trigger word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uber just announced a new feature today, as a matter of fact, called Women's Preferences. And it's designed to connect women riders and drivers as part of its quote-unquote ongoing efforts to enhance safety on the platform, close quote. The pilot program will roll out in the coming weeks here in L.A., San Francisco, and Detroit. That's kind of odd. Random. L.A., San Francisco, got it, but Detroit? All right. Uber initially introduced this feature in Saudi Arabia back in 2019. You may remember they had that law that granted women the right to drive back then. Well, that's why they implemented it there. I don't know why it took so long for it to happen here. But they do say, Uber that is, that rider preference is not guaranteed. And also that setting increases the likelihood that women will be matched with other women on the app. And let me be absolutely fair and transparent. And I try to be cognizant about this when we discuss these issues. I obviously have never been a woman. I don't know what it feels like to be a woman. I don't know either the insecurities or the concerns that women may have, not firsthand. And whereas I may not give it a second thought to get in an Uber, irrespective of who is driving, I would say that's a luxury as opposed to a woman who may not feel as comfortable. So I will make room for that. But I don't know if this is going to make Uber in and of itself safer. Now, it may make the rider feel more comfortable, but I don't know if it makes the rider safer. But I'm going to defer to two people who have actually driven for Uber. Stefan, what has been your experience as far as, have you ever heard a woman passenger articulate those types of fears or concerns?
They haven't mentioned those concerns, but they've definitely asked me if there are like female drivers.
Okay.
And which they do exist. They're out there. But most of them don't work the hours that I do, which is usually at night. And I totally understand that. I'm cognizant, like pretty much you echoed exactly what I was thinking. I've never been a woman, so I don't have, that thought in my head. But I always try to just be as just respectful and just a normal person. Like I'm not trying to be anything different. Just treat them as if it was a guy. Like it doesn't matter to me. It's just it gets a little bit into the weeds when they're very inebriated, and I need to make sure that they're safe, but also make sure that my reputation is also safe, because I want to make sure that they get to where they need to be. They get there safely, and that they exit the vehicle safely. So sometimes I do make sure that they get to their house, apartment, whatever it may be, before I leave, because I want to make sure that at least they're in their own, safe zone.
Tuwala, Stefan makes a great point. We think of safety generally with respect to the rider, but not necessarily the driver. We've seen the videos of, the riders acting up and attacking drivers, but we don't necessarily always have the conversation in those terms. When you were driving for Uber, was there any time in which you thought your safety was in jeopardy?
Several times I felt that the individuals in my backseat could take my life. Not for any other reason that they just did not look right. Okay, there was one occasion where a woman had ordered a ride, and turned out she was ordering it for her boyfriend. Some giant dude that stepped in and was like, "Yeah, Miss Sheila ordered this ride for me." And I'm like, "You are not about to kill me, good sir."
Well, tell Sheila to get in the car.
And I mean, look, and I look at this and I understand the why. It's offering a false sense of security by giving the caveat of you may not be guaranteed. Well, then why offer it at all? why even offer it if there's no 100% guarantee that you are going to get your selection, that you are going to get a woman driver? But at the same time, I think that this does help both parties because, and I don't know, Foosh, if you've read any of these stories, but there have been more than a few Uber drivers who have been killed because, and many people don't know, the directional app, sometimes that thing goes out when you get near an area and you're like trying to figure it out. And
what's the directional app for those who don't know?
It is basically your Uber GPS. It's making sure that it's not just you just have GPS. It's the navigation system.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same navigation that the passenger's looking at. So it's not your own navigation. So you all are synced up. So everyone knows where you're going. Everyone's watching it. But I remember a time when because it was like, turn left here. And I'm like, you told me too late. And I had to go around the block. And I know that there have been stories of passengers who panicked and thought Uber drivers trying to kidnap them. And they have killed or brutally attacked the Uber driver because they felt threatened in that moment. So I think about this, something like this is a win for everybody. And again, I just think that this is, unfortunately, another attack against the Fushis of the world.
It kind of reminds me of when they try to start that Uber for kids or teens or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of, you said, Mo, it's kind of them protecting their liability. And the other thing that people don't think about is if you do that request, your wait time is going to be a while because there's not a lot of female drivers at night.
Maybe I'm just lucky, but I've had my fair share of female drivers, regardless of whatever city I'm in. Usually, if I'm traveling, I'm using Uber. I don't even use Lyft, but I get a fair share of women. But for the most part, I am traveling during the daytime. Then there's that. Yeah, because I haven't had too many Ubers at night for the most part. But usually I'm flying in, get in, daytime, Uber to the hotel. Almost 50-50. It's a woman. Maybe that's just anecdotal, my experience.
I wonder.
You want some of this? I'm sorry. Carnisha? Want to get this female voice?
I've actually driven for Uber in New Orleans, and I.
Wait a minute. How are we just.
What in the name of Mowgli?
What?
Are you serious right now?
What?
Every Uber conversation we've had, and you just sat over there.
Mo, come back.
You literally just sat there.
Look, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I didn't want to interrupt.
You are out of your mind, young lady. Just sitting over there. Well, I did drive for Uber the entire time in Uber.
What the hell is going
Look,
on?
Mo, come back, because now I got to fix your camera.
Jesus. I'm so baffled right now. I don't even know what's happening right now. I don't know how you decided to drop that.
Oh, my goodness.
She just decided to let you twist.
Uber and women, and we have a.
What is happening?
Listen, I used to drive for Uber in New Orleans, and I did used to work late nights as well.
How long have you been working on the show?
It's been about a year, almost.
Okay, listen. So I have been in that
environment.
Environment where
Situation?
I am afraid, especially when riders get in the front seat next to me. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Wait, you allow that?
I mean, I couldn't tell them get out and get in the back
Yes, you
seat.
could.
I wasn't. Well, yeah. So they usually ride up in the front seat with me. Some guys usually ride in the front seat with me. Now, there was a time where I was in Reno and I took a Lyft, and it was two women that picked me up. And the route that they were going, I was unfamiliar with it, and my heart dropped to my ASS, and I really thought I was about to get sex trafficked. Oh, we could say that on.
Yeah, I'll say it for us. You don't have to worry about it. Your heart dropped your ass.
I really thought I was about to get sex trafficked. I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, where y'all taking me? This is not the route. This is not what I see on my GPS. Like, where are y'all going? And then when they finally got to some area that I was familiar with, I was like, okay. So I feel like it could definitely go both ways. But I think this option is safer. And just like Foosh said, like the wait time may be longer. But yeah.
Carnisha.
I'm so
Okay. We're going to do some radio 101 here. We're going to bring the audience behind the curtain. There's kind of an understanding. Everyone has this thing called the rundown, so you know what topics we're going to be discussing.
It did sneak up on you.
No, you knew that we were going to be discussing this. And there's a general rule, at least with this show, if you have some sort of informed perspective that you could offer, please don't tell us after the fact. Okay. And as many times as we've talked about Uber this or Uber that, And
some 11 times.
Yeah,
and
and
she's sitting over here. Well, I drive for Uber.
we're talking about Uber and specifically requesting a woman Uber driver, of which you were one and have an informed perspective, and you were going to let nobody know.
I was just waiting on y'all to finish.
I was getting ready to go to break. I literally was getting ready to go to break. We're 3 minutes
and
over.
not only that, when you said food, she's driven twice, you could have said, I've also driven. I see y'all talking about women. I don't understand what's happening right now. This is the most insane thing I've heard. I don't know how long.
Sometimes I be shy. I don't know when to step in, when to not. So I'll just be trying to.
Okay, this is not double Dutch.
Okay,
you don't have to wait.
You're like waiting for the right guy.
Yeah. The subject matter specifically applied to you. Specifically, I don't know if
more
it could
than
get
anyone else here.
Female Uber driver. Okay, of that description, who in this building fits that description? Mark, are you female or Uber driver?
No, but I want to inform Carnicia of rule subsection 1A, which is it's also perfectly acceptable to let the host just twist in the wind if you think it's funny.
Daniel, why are you laughing at that in the hall?
I thought that was funny.
All y'all kiss my ass. ASS. KFI, AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. F-U.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on social media, and we're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. And I'm a big sports fan. I love sports. It's, if anything, it's a palate cleanser. I love sports because it's a nice diversion and distraction from the real world issues that really get on my nerves, be it politics or what have you. But I have to be very clear about this. Carnicia, I hate to talk across the table, but I need you to fix my camera for me, please. I am a Lakers fan. I'm not a Clippers fan. Tommy Godlove, who's in the chat, just have to put that out there. Okay, I'm very particular about that. I am a Kings fan. I am not a Ducks fan. Just because you're in the same area, general area, doesn't mean I'm rooting for you. I am a Rams fan. I am not a Chargers fan. I am a USC Trojans fan. I am not a UCLA Bruins fan. Well, I don't hate the Bruins. I'm just saying I'm partial to the Trojans. And most definitely, I'm a Dodgers fan, not an Angels fan. But according to a new study conducted by Sports Millions, the Golden State, we produce the most popular professional sports teams in the country by a lot, ahead of the states of New York and Texas. And America's most popular sports team, wait for it, the Los Angeles Lakers. And the study, which analyzed over a year's worth of Google search trends and Instagram engagement, gave California an unmatched index score of 100, nearly doubling New York, who comes in at number 2 with 60.2, and Texas, which came in third with 51.28. And at the heart of the dominance is Los Angeles. That means the Lakers. Did you know that LA has 12 professional sports teams? And I think it might even be more than that. But it's the Lakers, the Dodgers, the Rams, the Chargers, the Clippers, the Kings, LAFC, LA Galaxy, the Sparks. Yeah, that's about right. And of the 12 sports teams in Los Angeles, the Lakers are on top with an index score of 70.4, fueled by 3.6 million monthly searches and an Instagram following north of 25 million. So it comes down to engagement. It's not just about winning rings. It's not just about winning championships. It's not just about being on TV. It's about who people are looking for, what people are talking about. In other words, you may not even be a Lakers fan, but you're aware of, let's say, LeBron James. You may be searching for something on him. You may be looking up things just because you just want to talk smack about him. Let's say you're Tommy Godlove and you're a Clippers fan, or Michael Crozier, a Clippers fan, and you want to see what the Lakers are doing. Well, here's the difference between a Lakers fan and a Clippers fan. Clippers fan is always looking to see what the Lakers are doing. They're trying to see how the Lakers are doing. Why? Because they're the little brother. They have the little brother complex, and they want to compare themselves to the big brother. Lakers fans, we don't give a damn about the Clippers. We don't care about y'all at all. The next championship that you the next championship that you play for will be your first. You do not matter. You barely exist. You're a trivia question answer. And I hope you heard that, Michael Crozier. You do not in any way matter. Okay? You just got Chris Paul to come back to your team. You're not serious about playing for a championship. Oh, who most recently won a championship in all these sports? The Rams. The Chargers never have. The Dodgers just won last year, and they won in 2020. I don't know. It's like been 20, 25 years since the Angels won anything. Okay? The Kings, they've won 2 or 3 Stanley Cups in the past 25 years. The Ducks, not so much. Okay? I roll with the winners. The Trojans, they won a national championship or 2 in football. Yes, there was the scandal. They had one taken away because they were paying Reggie Bush, but don't let the details get in the way. They still won something. California sports, the most popular in America. For all the bad news about California, all the things that they say where California is just horrible, we still rule when it comes to sports. It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640. We're live.
I'm Christiana Manpour, and I've been on the front lines and interviewing world leaders for more than 30 years.
And I'm Jamie Rubin, a former advisor to both Presidents Clinton and Biden.
We were married for 20 years.
And divorced for 7.
Now we've joined forces on The X-Files to make sense of how we ended up with no world order. Listen to Christiana Manpour Presents The X-Files on the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on social media in the iHeartRadio app. And I have fond memories of Sears. And when I say memories, because that's about all we have left anymore. Memories of Sears. Yes, I love the Sears Roebuck catalog. That was about the only way you could find women in underwear in the 1970s as a kid. True story. True story. I'm not ashamed. But Sears was an institution. And there are only maybe a handful left. The Mo Migos, they were asking in the Motown chat. In fact, it was Melanie Matson. She was asking how many Sears locations are there remaining. And according to what I could find, there are only 8 remaining store locations in the United States and Puerto Rico. They're located in Burbank, Concord, Whittier, Miami, Orlando, Braintree, Massachusetts, El Paso, Texas, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. But now we can just about cross Burbank off that list. According to some public job listings, they are looking for some stockroom employees, temporary, to help with receiving for a store which they acknowledge will soon be closing. That's the Burbank Sears. And if you know that area where it used to be an anchor store for the Town Center Mall, and I've been to it many times, but it was one that opened and closed, and they tried to reopen it and closed and tried to reopen again, and it never quite regained its footing. And it's a sad story when you think about what is going to happen to that Burbank location and what has happened big picture with Sears. It's sad from a nostalgia standpoint, but it's not really an economic surprise, if only because these types of retailers, these big box retailers, don't really have a place anymore. And I know people don't like hearing that. I know people want to say, like, I like to be able to walk into a store. I don't. There is nothing that Sears can sell. No disrespect, Sears. There's nothing Sears can sell, including appliances, just being honest, that I cannot get online or make a purchase through some other retailer without having to go into a physical Sears location. There's nothing Sears can do for me. What used to be the advantage of Sears was they had a little this, little that. They had a great hardware section. They had a great appliances section. And the clothes, they were reasonably priced. I know my mother did a lot of shopping at Sears as far as clothes there. It was good for what it could offer. But all that it did offer, I can get on Amazon. I literally can get anything that I want that is offered at Sears on Amazon, and I don't have to waste the gas. I don't have to waste the time. In just a few clicks, it might even be here the same day. How do you compete with that? Now, there's another question of why Amazon is able to compete, because they don't pay their employees enough, but that's another conversation. But from a consumer standpoint, there's no competition. And I know that pains Mark Ronner when I say that, but there's no competition. And
I know you're trying to needle me, but
yes, I am.
Since I can respond, exactly which part pains me? You putting money into Jeff Bezos's pocket?
That's part of it.
Which?
That's part of it. There's more than one way to get needled on this.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No, but I think it's an unfortunate truth that these places, and it's not just Sears, like you can say Penny's or any of these big box retailers of yesteryear, which used to serve a very important purpose in our economy and our shopping travels, just don't anymore.
You know what's funny is that you hear and read all these stories about how ruthless Amazon has been, which has caused a lot of places to go out of business, particularly bookstores, which is what they started with. And then they tried to open their own brick and mortar bookstore.
Why wouldn't they?
Because nothing matters. Nothing.
No, but I'm saying if you've destroyed the competition, then yeah, you can go ahead and open up a brick and mortar bookstore.
I've been using Amazon less and less because I started noticing that as rich as Bezos is with his rockets and renting out the entire city of Venice for his wedding, he's never done anything. Like Andrew Carnegie built libraries all over the country. Bezos has done nothing.
Yeah, he hasn't. But I don't hold individuals who happen to be presidents and founders of companies to any unrealistic standard. In other words,
it's not unrealistic. I think it's sociopathic not to, if you have that much money, to do something to better the society that enabled you to get so filthy rich.
Okay, but that's not my motivation. In other words, I'm not going to not shop at Amazon. I know, double negative. I'm not going to not shop at Amazon just because of Bezos being rich. He could sell the company tomorrow to, I don't know, a bunch of people we don't know. And does that change how I'm going to look at the company or how I'm going to shop? Look, all I know is I can get all my shopping done and not have to leave this studio.
It's very convenient.
It is very convenient. And I'm a guy who used to use eBay all the time. And then I realized there were just things that I could not get in a reasonable amount of time through eBay. And I started using Amazon. And I already had Prime, so I get all the free shipping. It just fit my lifestyle.
I didn't think you were going to say shipping. I get all the free shipping.
That kind of almost got me too, honestly.
You don't
stay
have
on that
to
dump
dump
button,
me.
Foosh.
You don't have to dump me. My point is, it works for me. And clearly, you look at the success of Amazon, it's worked for millions of other people.
I know. I just feel guilty sometimes because, I mean, their warehouse employees have to pee in bottles, okay? It's okay to think about that now and then.
It is. No, it is. But what's the alternative?
Pay a little more, go to some place that you feel better about.
No, it's all about me, dog.
Of course it always is.
I'm serious.
Do you do that?
If I am going to make a decision which is best for me financially, time, economically, all that kind of stuff, then I'm going to do what I have to do. It's like I can't worry about everyone and everything.
You also weirdly hate going out places even more than I do. I'm not a fan of it, but there's an old story Kurt Vonnegut used to tell about how his wife would get on his back for going out to buy like one postage stamp. And he's like, no, I like that. I like going out and farting around and meeting people and doing things because it gets me out of the house. And I wouldn't do that otherwise.
But my life is built on efficiency. And I am real big on time management and also money management.
Oh, you're practically a Vulcan, I can tell.
Well, I didn't say I was unemotional.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, so are you shopping at these little spots, Mark?
I do what I can. I'm not perfect. I do a little bit of everything with everybody. So I do shop at Amazon, but I have cut down on it drastically.
I shop at Amazon because not only does it save me money, ding, plus it saves me time, ding, plus, and I can find things relatively inexpensively against other items that I usually would spend more money on. That to me is most important. I may not agree with all their business practices. It's like saying I'm not going to go to McDonald's because they don't pay their employees enough. Okay. You know, you can find a reason not to shop at any retailer. And if I dug deep enough, I could find some reasons not to shop at Sears, for example. I can find any number of reasons. Now, do I support small businesses where I can? Absolutely.
Well, I think Sears is going extinct without your help.
But my point is, we all make these decisions. We all make these choices, and the choices are relative to our own lives. Now, let me give you a perfect example. Some people will not go to Chick-fil-A because of the views of the founder.
Oh, it's not just the views. They actively contribute to making the lives of gay people harder.
Okay, but my point is people make a choice, Mark. I'm saying, and different people make different choices with different criteria.
Yeah.
And no, I was saying it's affecting the employees, and they're not necessarily believing that same thing.
What do you mean?
Like people that are against that belief, yeah, that's true. Like the shareholders and all of them, maybe they have it, but you're affecting the employees, and they're the ones who probably don't even have an idea of what's going on. They're just trying to make a living.
Sure, maybe, but we've all got gay friends, and we wouldn't ever intentionally do anything that would hurt them. And so that's just one more thing for me. No chicken sandwich is that good. I mean, when next time Nick comes in, ask him if he wants to go get a Chick-fil-A sandwich with you.
No, he may not, but let me put it in my terms. There are a lot of companies that are not necessarily kind or friendly to black folks, okay? You know, I could give you a lot of stories about Denny's.
Oh, really?
Which used to be named Sambo's, okay? We all make these decisions along the way, but your litmus test, your yardstick.
It's not a yardstick.
Nick's
it's just something
yardstick.
I keep in mind, and I have an imperfect record, but it's, I like to have that be a factor in my decisions. That's all I'm saying.
And everyone makes the decisions. Like, for example, why do you think Target is suffering greatly right now? Because African Americans have said, as a group, we're not shopping at Target until they make some changes relative to DEI and other issues. But everyone makes those decisions. Now, since you name check Nick, I know we're over. If Nick were to come in the studio and we were to say, what about Chick-fil-A? He'll have his views on Chick-fil-A. But if we said, what about Target? He may not have any issue with Target.
I will say I've drastically cut down eating at Sambo's. You like that?
Jeez.
How long can I be quiet before the alarm goes off?
Let's find out.
I think it's like 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Okay.
This is radio gold for listeners.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Football is back.
Let's go, baby!
On July 26th and 27th, teams across the league take the field for Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV.
Let's do this for fans!
With 2 full days of practices, player interviews, and behind-the-scenes access, it's a can't-miss NFL reunion. Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV, July 26th and 27th. Go to NFL.com/BackTogetherWeekend for more information.
I'm Christiana Manpour, and I've been on the front lines and interviewing world leaders for more than 30 years.
And I'm Jamie Rubin, a former advisor to both Presidents Clinton and Biden.
We were married for 20 years.
And divorced for 7.
Now we've joined forces on The X-Files to make sense of how we ended up with no world order. Listen to Christiana Manpour Presents The X-Files on the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.